The National FFA Convention and Expo may have wrapped up, but the opportunities are going to continue to grow for some National FFA officers. Hello, once again. I'm Susan Littlefield with the American Ag Network, and joining me today, T. Wayne Williams from the great state of Tennessee, who just so happens to be the Southern Region Vice President going into this next year for the FFA. And I first want to say congratulations
Thank you.
and kind of relive for us that moment as you guys were all lined up, arm in arm, swaying back and forth, and when you heard from the state of Tennessee.
Absolutely. I remember being there that day and going through a long process, 2 weeks of running for a national FFA office. It felt like I'd been there for an eternity at that point, but staying in that line, what came back to me was all of the people who have supported me on this journey, all of the people for the past 5 years while wearing this blue jacket that have believed in me and they've continued to show up for me time and time again. And I'm standing in that line and I hear Southern Region Vice President, so I know that there's a chance. I hear from the state of Tennessee, and it was just complete shock. Ultimately, what I found at that time was that helped me was getting to see my parents who were cheering me on in the stands. That was so cool, and I remember just feeling so much joy and so much happiness right there in that moment. And that was so cool for me to get to realize that I was living a dream that I've had for the past 5 years.
Empower was part of that theme of this year's National FFA Convention and Expo. For you, what does it mean to you to have that blue corduroy jacket on and see the growth you personally have made from that very first day you put it on to then that very first day getting to put on a national jacket?
I'm a big believer that our lives are defined by moments, and I've had so many defining life moments in this blue jacket. And as I look back at freshman year T Wayne, if I could paint that picture for you, T Wayne, he was about 5'4". He had a perm mullet, he had some blue braces. He was thinking he's going to be a star basketball player for Canyon County High School back here in Tennessee. However, I'm about 2 weeks into my agri-science class freshman year, and my FFA advisor hands me a chapter officer application. And I flipped through those pages and I read terms such as an SAE, a CDE, an LDE. It was terms that meant absolutely nothing to me at that time.
Right.
And so I pushed it back and I said, I'm going to only focus on basketball. Week later, I'm walking out of basketball conditioning practice. I'm super sore. It's about to be a 3-day weekend. I'm ready for it. I'm about 30 feet away from the school doors when that same FFA advisor rounds the corner of the hallway. She stops me and she tells me, you just need to take one step outside of your comfort zone and this blue jacket will change your life. Now I'm sitting there over that 3-day weekend and I'm thinking about those words of that one step is going to change your life. I filled out that application to the best that I could, got elected Woodbury FFA Chapter Sentinel, and that led to a year where I was able to empower myself. I found a purpose. I found a sense of community. I found a passion for the agriculture industry on a renewed level. And I can say since that moment, my heart has been on fire for FFA and for this organization. And that's exactly what I want to continue to do this next year is go meet FFA members exactly where they are and showcase to them if we're willing to take that one step outside of our comfort zone, this blue jacket is going to open up so many doors of opportunities for us to truly live out a vision statement of growing the next generation of leaders who will change the world.
So, T. Wayne, during your part in FFA, did you ever have the opportunity to meet a national officer?
I did. So the first national FFA officer that I ever got to meet was in Gatlinburg, Tennessee at the Tennessee FFA State Convention. Andrew Seibel from Virginia, who was serving as national FFA president, and got to talk with him a lot that week, and it was super special. But as I look back at national officers that truly have had an impact on me, I go back to just this past year. I'm serving as a state officer for Tennessee, and Thad Berkschneider from Illinois comes to our state convention and he gives a keynote of just taking one shot. Just taking one shot. What is the risk in putting ourselves out there? Is one of his favorite quotes that he gave me at that convention was, "We miss 100% of the shots that we don't take." And I think that's what's defined my journey within this blue jacket is exactly what Thad was talking about. Is I've always tried to sign up for that next contest, for that next chapter event, for the next community service activity to push myself. And if I continue to showcase throughout my year of service as a national FFA officer, if we'll just take that next step, take that next shot, keep trying, then we truly are going to be able to find meaningful experiences and lasting friendships in the blue jacket.
Well, you find yourself back home right now, wrapping up a semester
Yes.
before you will be on the road and touring the whole country, the world,
Yes.
with National FFA. Let's talk about your roots and why you're going to utilize this downtime, probably to empower you into this next year.
So my name is T. Wayne Williams. My full name is Troy Martin Wayne Williams. And Troy, who is my great grandfather, he started my family's beef operation in 1959 here in Woodbury, Tennessee. My grandfather Wayne was born on a family farm in Illinois, and currently, still to this day, my father Martin runs our family's beef operation. 3 generations of agriculturalists in my name. I truly was born into this industry. So when joining high school, there was never a doubt that I was going to sign up for an ag class, that I was going to get joined in FFA. And I can say that my grandfather and my father, they're two of the most influential people in my life. I talk to them every single day, and they truly are a cornerstone of exactly who I am. And so I look forward to the next 20 days that I have left with them here in Tennessee of soaking up these memories, soaking up these moments to realize just how special the people within this industry are, so that when I leave to go head back to Indianapolis in December for training and continue to embark on going to country or going to another country in Japan, going to several states across this nation, that I can carry that love and that passion of agriculture that my family instilled into me at such a young age.
Share with us what that process was like when you made that decision to take that next step and apply for national office. You said you were at 2 weeks in Indianapolis. Talk a little bit about that.
Yes, the process for running for national FFA office, anyone can tell you it's rigorous, it's very demanding, and it'll challenge you in so many ways. And so I retired from state office here in Tennessee in March, and by May I had made the decision that I was going to take that step and try to run for a national FFA office. And I had so many people in my corner back here in Tennessee that on those long days of studying, on those long days of prepping, when you wake up sometimes and you're questioning yourself, that doubt starts to creep in. They continued to be that voice of certainty, of just continuing to push me along. And we got to Indianapolis on October 24th, a Friday. That very next day, we started with interviews. And so we went through personal round interviews. We also went through a round robin round, which is where we're talking to stakeholders about agriculture issues, about agriculture education issues. Got to do a media round, kind of like what we're doing exactly right now, advocating for this blue jacket and what it means. And we also got to facilitate to FFA members, lead them through leadership development workshops, see how we interact with FFA members. And so I can say every single time that you walked out of a round, it was very challenging because you want to think about exactly what just happened, what you think went well, what you think didn't go well. And for me, it was always hard to try to think about the things that what went well, because I always wanted to get stuck on, man, these are the things that I could have improved on. But at the end of the day, you have to continue to trust in just hoping that you can show them exactly why you're there and exactly why you want to serve. And that's something that I think before Saturday, not knowing what the decision was, when the process ended, I was happy because I could tell I'd showcased to them exactly why I wanted to be there and why my heart was on fire for FFA. So I knew if it didn't turn out my way on Saturday, I could live happily knowing that I gave it everything I had. And that's exactly what I want to do this next year, so that in 365 days, when we're back in Indianapolis and we're celebrating the 99th National FFA Convention and Expo, I can say that I've done everything I could do this next year to serve FFA members to the highest of my ability, so that I can leave the organization in a better place than from where I started with it.
Well, I cannot wait to watch you on this adventure and obviously see you grow and change as well as you tackle this next year. T. Wayne, thanks so much for taking time to talk to us.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate it a lot. Y'all support for agriculture education and FFA. It's truly inspiring, and we can't do what we do without you. So thank you.
Thank you so much. T. Wayne Williams, the Southern Region Vice President for the National FFA Organization. I'm Susan Littlefield reporting.